Awesome. Thank you for joining and watching this quick video. I just wanted to share my heart briefly, tell a story. If you know me, if you see my Facebook post or anything like that, you know that I'm passionate about recovery, passionate particularly about the ministry that I work with and for, a recovery church movement. And we want to see people come to faith. We want to see them work a program of recovery and their lives transformed. And with this ministry, I do a lot of traveling. I travel and train pastors and help plant these churches and connect and network with churches and ministries across this country, trying to share this message of hope. And I do a lot of traveling. And for some people, they love that. I can't stand it. I hate flying. I'm a bit of a germaphobe. I don't like heights. And I'm an anxious person overall, and being thousands of feet in the air in a tube with a bunch of people coughing and the germs, it's just not a peaceful experience for me. Also, being a pastor and a therapist and working with addicts and alcoholics, it's really almost always a very awkward conversation. You sit next to someone and they get to the "what do you do?" question. And almost always without fail, they had just been cursing or buying a drink, and now, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I really don't have a problem, I promise you." And it's just one of those awkward things, but pretty much without fail, God shows up during those conversations. But on this particular flight, I was attempting to escape a bit from all the chaos, and I just didn't want to talk to anyone. And so I decided to see what in-flight movies were available. And a movie entitled Men in Black popped up on the queue. I didn't really read much of the description. I remember someone saying to me, yeah, it was a movie I should watch, but I just saw that Julia Roberts was the lead and figured it wasn't some B movie, and so I just hit play. And as I watched this story unfold, I was moved. I mean, I was crocodile tears, snot dripping, weeping, holding them back kind of experience. And I know the person next to me was probably praying, God, why did you have this crazy fool sit next to me? This guy's a pastor. And this might not sound like the best appeal or plug or recommendation for a film, but I want to tell you that this movie did the best job that I have seen at showing the tension of love and insanity and the cunning and baffling nature of addiction in our nation and in our homes. It takes a story of 24 hours around Christmas time and one family's fight to survive. The plot is shows this mother who Julia Roberts plays, who's trying to help her addict son after he unexpectedly returns home from rehab. And I want you guys to hear that. Anyone comes home from rehab early, they weren't doing so well, they let them out early. No matter what story they come up with of why they needed to leave early or anything like that, it's typically not a good thing. As I watched this story, the young man Ben, there's a scene where he arrives home and no one's there yet, and you could just start to feel the tension of his desire to stay sober, but yet the doubt of, is he there just to con them and rob them and steal their stuff and get high, or is he really going to try to stay sober today? The complexity of the web that addiction weaves in the lives of those we care about is just so hard, and it's really apparent in this film. The movie did a great job of making it clear that just stop it isn't so easy. The pain, the anger, and love of this family, the mother's deep love for her child and her codependency were held in this brutal tension. Was she loving him back to life and recovery and saving his life, or enabling him to stay sick or even die, or maybe a bit of both? You know, allowing addicts and alcoholics to feel the pain, the consequences associated with their addiction is key to recovery. You might have heard statements like, don't rob them of their dumpster therapy. Um, the art of walking alongside someone in early recovery or in active addiction is really hard. We cannot simply make it an equation. Um, Most of us need to learn lessons that are associated with enabling. We can love those that struggle with addiction to death. So I want to challenge you. If you have a loved one who is an addict or in recovery, you get help. Yes, you get help. Telling the addict or alcoholic to simply stop it, how has that worked for you? I can guarantee you that it hasn't. Stop it hasn't worked for you, and it won't. Their best hope is for you to get support and help that you need. You need to start talking about it. No more secrets. Secrets will keep you and your family sick. You need to start working a program. Work the 12 steps of Codependence Anonymous or Al-Anon, or there's a million other groups out there. Seek some professional counseling. Yes, you get counseling. I know you're not the addict. I know you might not be the one who's using and driving your family nuts, but if you want to help them, you get counseling. This is life and death, and it's worth the commitment. You need to learn how to set healthy boundaries. You might say, oh, I know how to do that. Maybe. I struggle with it. Start reading books like Boundaries, Codependent No More. Get the workbooks, okay? Do the work. I have a little recovery devotional I can send you as well. But get it. Start doing the work. Start allowing God to minister to you. Yes, pray. Pray and pray some more. For my brother, for years, and some of you were even in some of the groups. We'd have a morning prayer group at one treatment center I worked at, and every single morning I would pray for him. God, help him come to his senses. Help him to surrender. Lord, help us to set boundaries so he will one day wake up and say, enough's enough. And rather than burying him, I got to baptize him. Ask your church and family to pray. But I want to challenge you this. None of those unspoken requests that you like to hide behind. Speak the truth of your struggle. Break the stigma and the shame of this. It's the number one cause of death in our nation. Guess what? You are not alone. It's not those people. It is us. It's going to help others. It's going to help you, but it's going to also help others, give them the courage to do the same. After all that, fight. If they still have breath in their lungs, there is still hope. Now, this is a controversial statement I'm going to say right now, but get a prescription for naloxone or Narcan and learn how to administer it. It's easy. But this is a medication that rapidly reverses the effects of an opiate overdose. And I know that's controversial. It's going to give a person possibly another chance to find God and recovery. Then join the fight. Educate yourself on the politics related to the issue. This is a national security issue. This is a healthcare issue. It's a spiritual issue. It's a family issue. It has impacts on our ports and our borders, everything you can think of. Research it. It all plays a role. Then advocate. Call your representative and demand action. Finally, partner with ministries like Recovery Church. Recovery Church movement, and there's tons of other great ministries out there. We're trying to fight on the front lines, trying to make a difference in this epidemic. Help us share God's grace and recovery with those struggling with addiction. We'd love for you to partner with us. We need you. We cannot do this alone. I have never met a single person who recovers alone, and we are not going to push back this darkness alone. We need the entire community behind this. So brothers and sisters, pray, do the work, and let's fight together. God bless and stay sober. Thank you.